Good morning, everyone. My name is Cardella Coulson, and I would like to thank you all for tuning in today at the International Women Entrepreneur Show. IWES' vision is to become a sustainable platform that promotes the products, services, and activities of women entrepreneurs around the region, as well as globally. We are committed to collaborate and partner with successful women who has risen to the top to motivate and assist other striving entrepreneurs to achieve their business goals by sharing knowledge and experiences, have the skill set and mindset to help them grow their businesses, and overcome challenges, as well as inspiring them to become supporters, innovators, and leaders in the community. Today, our special guest is an award-winning health and wellness leader, integrative health pain management practitioner, author, keynote speaker, wellness mentor, health entrepreneur, and the founder of the Pain Manager DMCC, Health and Wellness Company. It's creating a transformative wellness-centered community for women affected by imbalanced lifestyle choices. And for those who want to get the push to grow in life, her book, The Woman Who Inspire, shares the experience of multiple keynote speakers and women leaders. You can read her paralysis recovery experience in the book too. A part of the book income is going for charity, which is Al Jalila Foundation, and it's to support children in critical conditions. Please join me in welcoming the inspiring Dr. Hanadie Basil.
Oh. Welcome everyone to the most amazing meeting that I've learned a lot from. I was following on Facebook and on Instagram, seeing and hearing the ladies who dare to change and start the journey of change. They chose to become entrepreneurs, health entrepreneurs, inspiring others for the journey of change. And to answer the request of the International Women Show, and to be part of this amazing journey for everyone, and sharing the self-love message all over the world for those who need to hear it. Especially for the last 2 years, when my journey starts and other people's journey starts or ends. So sharing what I learned from life and shifting from mess to master, helping others also to do. I'm Dr. Hanadie Basil, the Integrative Health and Pain Management Practitioner. And for those who never hear about me or know me or meet me, I'm a humble mother holding a bachelor, master, and other degrees. Started my journey as a comparative orthopedic surgeon and shifted into assistant professor to teach in the college. And then the life throws me here and here till I end up the last 10 years to become an integrative health and pain management practitioner. I chose the pain as an aim, a goal, to be uplifted from those who suffer. Ending up in the last 2 years after the paralysis to establish and start my own company, my own business called the Pain Manager, to help those who want to transfer their lives and become the best version of themselves, to create that community for women and their families who are affected by the imbalances of life. I'm an award-winning and health and wellness leader, and I honored Sheikh Al-Qasimi to give me this award. because sometimes when we receive a little boost, a little push in life, and that was a huge one, those moments keep everyone to progress and grow every single moment. Just a quick health disclaimer: any information in this presentation not considered or not used to diagnose, treat, or considered as a medical advice. If you have any health issues, go back to your doctor and double check, and then start your own journey. We're here to educate people about the opportunities that they have in life to start the change. And let's start the journey. So based on the theme chose by the Women Association show, it was supposed to be a self-love presentation. But this time, I will flip the coin. That coin, most people think that it's a one-face coin. It's actually a two. So self-love never started without self-care. So the self-care is an act of self-love. Can I have one moment, please? Ms. Cardell, I cannot see. I cannot see the Zoom.
The screen, you mean?
No, my camera is not showing. It's only yours.
We see you though. I can see you.
Okay.
Can you guys see Dr. Hanadie, Nongnosh, Rowena, yeah, Ashley?
Yes, we can see you, but not the screen, actually.
Okay. Let me double check because there is a kind of technical issue.
Yeah, we get it.
Better?
Yeah.
I have to put this here, if you don't mind, so the slide can proceed. Okay. I need to, okay, fine. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So going back to the self-care and the self-love, in order to reach that self-love status that till now, there is no definition to describe this self-love term. In a nutshell, the self-love is the appreciation of the one's growth for the better version of themselves. It's the sensation of the physical, mental, and emotional growth of ourselves. It's the taking care of ourselves. And by the end of the day, if you hear someone talking about self-love, ask them first, did you take care about yourself first? I'm here to teach you how to optimize your self-love plan to improve your physical, mental, and emotional health. Self-love never been a mystery for the previous ancient civilizations. All over the world, all over the lifetime, people used to take care about food, about their environment, about their movement, about their love and care for others. But they usually mistake or forget about themselves. And what they face this. They face this, a huge amount of responsibilities, many things to be done, many things to be perfect compared to others. And nowadays, ladies, they face a huge amount of challenge. You have to be the mom, the housewife, the driver, the employee that you have to deliver a message or deliver a work for your boss, and a cook, a shopping lady, and a time manager person, a cleaner, and you just name it. And ladies start to lose that grip, feeling that guilt that they cannot manage it, till they end up like this. A huge mess around, and they are sitting in front of the cameras filming a perfect life, shows a perfect environment, but the actual environment is here. Neglecting health, complete ignorance about what's going on. And then looking at those who are improving in life, managing, and call them the master, never think about the moment that, or the time that those ladies or those individuals who took to build and organize every single moment in this schedule to be sit and relaxed, working on a laptop. Then what? They don't know what's going on in their life. They don't know what to do. They look here and here and here, feeling the guilt, feeling the shame, feeling the frustration, jealousy, anger. Name any kind of emotion or attitude can hit the human brain. They don't know what to do in their life. And the time is going on and on and on. And then they will come and ask, is self-love a true thing that we can do or practice or buy or learn? Yes, it's a skill. A skill that can start with a tiny little plan to be yourself, accept yourself, start to feed yourself before others. It's not a jealousy from others to show up. It's not a selfish behavior that it's only me, neither the others. No, it has to be started with you, and then it can be spread to others. Being the change is the first step, and choosing the physical change is a must. I might be taking the other part or the other face of the coin. Most of the life coaches will start with positivity, change your mindset, change your behavior, change this, change this. But I chose to change the physical body. By the end of the day, we all started from two cells, merged into one cell, and an embryo grows into a little tiny human. So those cells need to be nourished, taken care physically. Then the emotional and attitude will be followed. I chose this picture also because if you don't feed yourself, if you don't support yourself physically, most of the time, nobody will be capable to do it for you. From over 20 years of working on emergency cases and in the emergency rooms, seeing people coming with aches, pains, and many other things, refusing the therapy. It was their choice. You cannot force them. And when they block themselves from receiving the therapy, they become worse and worse, and the condition becomes worse and worse. But once they accept the change, they accept the therapy, they accept and take and apply the things that we offer, then the change comes. A simple way, can you force a baby to be fed? You can't. If you want to breastfeed a child, if you want to feed a child with any kind of food, and for a reason or another, this child is refusing, no matter how hard you try, some kids will lock their mouth, others will vomit, and some will choke. So instead of having this struggle to feeding our bodies physically, let's first see our needs, look at our needs, see those under the soil, under the ground roots that we need to feed. Going back to the medical check. Before going out looking for a supplement, a diet, a trend, an exercise, a workout, a plan, a healthy plan, look first on your physical needs. Start with your professional health practitioners. Do not do it alone. Do not self-diagnose. Do not feel like, I'm feeling some aches and pains in my bones. So probably I will have a calcium deficiency or it's an osteoporosis. Those moments that when people start to diagnose themselves or giving names for their conditions, it's the beginning of that trap that might be the trap forever. And they will be fooled by specific symptoms just because somebody told them or one of the doctors told them, and they never check again. I always encourage people, if you get a diagnosis from your health professional and you're afraid from that kind of diagnosis, double check. Take other professional opinions before to decide. And instead of taking and implanting those ideas and start a wrong therapy. And a quick start is first check, health check, a general full body check. The payoff will show up one day. And the COVID days were a great example for those who build and grow their health over years. The body was ready to fight and survive the virus. And those who chose to pick a specific lifestyle get hit by it. It's not for everyone, but again, it's just to prepare yourself and your body and yourself for future. It's part of your self-love. It's part of your self-care. And instead of putting yourself in a critical condition, you are the first one who created. You neglect your health for years and years, and then you will ask, well, I got this and I got that, and I'm afraid from the virus. Okay, well, the change is here. They can start. The next one is what to choose. The social media is filled with many offers, ideas, trends, beautiful pictures, filters. And those on this slide are a kind of example of what's going on. Because people are looking on the external picture And they never know that this picture might be untrue, and this weight might be a little bit exaggerated for a person like this. But those slides or those pictures or those media influencers have a job. Partially is to entertain people, but there is another part of this picture for those who forget to take care about themselves. And they now looking for the extreme. How can I lift more? How can I rehydrate more? How can I eat more healthy? How can I get my heart health in the best form? The change will start in a tiny bit of droplets every single moment in your life. One change at a time means if your mindset today, or if your house today in a big mess, do not expect to fix it in one day, in one set. Because over time, you will get frustrated. No matter how many skills or how many helps you will get, you will become frustrated and you will drop it. And building habits have to start day by day, moment by moment. And instead of looking for a full picture of health, let's take one, and let's call this the calcium drink or the calcium potion. No matter which kind of calcium resource that you're going to receive, milk, coconut milk, supplements, anything, it has to be constant and one day change. And write it down in front of you. Put it in front of you so you can see it every single day and check it every single day. And instead of a full length of a to-do list, put your do list in one column, one cell, one change. Till you find yourself mastering this, then you can shift for the next. Well, I will eat more fruits and more veggies, and then they will start to take more than 2 kgs per day, shifting all their food choices into only salads. And then they will show up in the session calling me for, well, we have muscle damage, and we have muscle aches and pains, and we have protein loss. Yes, when we shift into unbalanced life or unbalanced diet, the atrophy will come. The loss will come from our own cells. So be realistic. You shift your drink first, and then you can add 1 piece of fruit or 1 piece of veggies. That's your minimum. The movement for those who have aches and pains. I was one of them. During the journey in the hospital and after the hospital, when the paralysis hit, those days that left me in a weak struggle status shifted into I need to move one part of my body no matter what. And those days that I was like, filled with needles and I cannot move, I will do a simple contraction of any muscle like the abdomen. I will breathe and contract my abdomen or clench my arms, my hands, or move my toes. The minimum amount of movement is a must. You don't have to run a marathon at the beginning. You don't need to run a marathon. Many people cannot do many things, but the minimum amount of mobility, the minimum amount of stretching, of moving those joints that you have them and use them before lose them. Then taking care of your hydration. When most people are keening on coffees or other drinks, to hydrate themselves. And when we ask them to shift into healthy options, they said, well, what? They will start to drink 3 liters or 4 liters of water. And they forget that the water itself is a diuretic, means that if you take it like in an overdose, more than your body requirements, it will flush more nutrients from your body, and they will have nutrient imbalance or ionic imbalance, or what we call electrolyte imbalance. So again, be careful about how much and which kind of water that you will use. Many kinds of recipes like infused waters with herbs, infused drinks, drink powders, healthy drink powders, using alkaline water. Many healthy drinks out there. The key is to find what suits you, what you like, what you can stick with for a long time without getting bored. And if you get bored, always get a substitute. So if you start with a lemon water today, do not take it for the next 20 or 30 years. Be patient, take other recipes, enjoy the color of the food, and it's a nice way to rehydrate your body with the flavor, uplift your mood, awakening your senses, and also get some nutrients or some electrolytes or some oxidants, antioxidants from your fruits or veggies. So the next day you can put some beetroot in your water. The other day you can put some cinnamon in your water. By the end of the day, you have changed something that is a challenge, because some people, they don't like those flavored waters, and you serve your body to heal itself. Then the heart and the cell healing will follow. So instead of holding that worry about my heart health, my body health, my bone health, what if I got cancer, what if I got this, what if I got the virus? Well, start with these. And the next is to seek your support, the most critical part of the story. And from a personal journey, started with myself and continued into my business and into my profession, having the correct support is a key. Because once you start the change, those who are surrounding you will feel the unsafety move. No, don't change. You're fine, you're good, we like you this way. There's nothing wrong with you. Maybe externally, but from inside, there is something weird going on. You can sensate it, they can't. Some people don't like the change because they are afraid to lose you as a friend. Some people don't like the change because they thought that they have to follow you. Some people have jealousy. They don't like to change and they don't like the others to change. And others might also give you many unpleasant moments because you start to change. Some will feel that you're a threat for them because somebody will compare them with you and they don't like that. So start to find the community, even if that community was a one person. Because that one person, even if he or she never speak or give you always the cheering words, but their feelings, their behavior towards your change, always positive, always supportive. And when they feel that you're not in the right place, they will highlight it with you, for you, gently or in other ways. Some of them are harsh, but the end result will be improving you into a new version, into a better version of yourself. Starting the community of good, healthy well-beings is not an easy thing, because you will clash with others who have different lines. There is nothing wrong with taking a keto diet or a vegan diet or a Mediterranean diet or a water fasting or whatever fasting that they are taking. But some take it so extreme to feel or make others feel that they are a threat. So step back, respect the other choices. Look at your own needs. Is that specific diet or specific group that they are sharing their health and wellness ideas suitable for me? Can I do them? As a busy mom, I cannot follow many WhatsApp groups. The amount of information were too much that you need to sieve every single thing. Including me as a researcher and scientific person, sometimes it will take you days and months to see if those information are right or wrong. Just a few hours ago, I received a message from one of those groups, and they are asking about specific herbs to increase the blood oxygen. People are going for the extremes, and they risk their lives and thinking they are doing good for others. And my answer was no. The person who needs oxygen therapy have to be under medical supervision. So those groups also are going to energize you. They're not going to make fun of you. They are not going to neglect your change. They will see any tiny little change. They might embrace it. They might encourage you, or their silence sometimes will be the best encouraging part of the story. Letting go in between your group. You might cry, you might be frustrated and speak about something really make you angry, will detox your emotions, because the physical change also connected with an emotional change. Do not expect that when you change your food choices and the soda drink that you used to take it for the last 20 years into a simple, a new infused water is not going to do what we call a withdrawal symptoms. That means that the body will always crave for that and might give you unpleasant physical symptoms like headache, shivering, feeling hungry. You don't taste the food. It's a kind of detox that the body chose to reset your brain back again to the health and wellness. And those also who are going to support your journey, maybe they will do it silently and they will follow you silently. And once they see that you're improving, they will use you yourself as a support and go on in their life. So you, by default, are going to help others by changing yourself. You don't have to be antisocial and avoid everyone. And those tips that I always teach for my clients is to pick a social diet. And they will start to laugh. Yes, when you are invited to a wedding or a meeting or a gathering and you will start your meeting on, no, I don't eat this, no, aggressively. That will leave the others with no choice but avoiding you for the rest of the meeting. Or maybe you will be neglected in the next wedding. And the talk will be, oh no, we're not going to invite her because she's not eating this or that. And we don't know what to do for her. So be flexible. And if you choose also to change, and you have some meetings or some invitations that you have to cross your pathway a little bit, not to please them, but to pick a better choice for yourself without damaging that much, and then not feel the guilt after that. So if you slip once, don't worry, you can start again. The next is to be consistent. Being consistent, stay on the track. That's the hard part. It's the easy part. When you pick one single change, one step ahead, and start to take your breakfast, a good balanced breakfast every single day. After 1 month, you will sensate the change in your physical energy. You will sensate a clarity in the mind. You will sensate that many things have to be put down and many other things have to be done right now. You will change your priorities, what to pick now and start to do. Why did you neglect that project? Why did you leave that thing out? And you can see in this picture, there are few things flying around the model, but they are individuals. So again, if I start to do one move to exercise, I will pick one task to finish, just one. I'm not going to take more. And I will list them, not as a to-do list, but as an aim list. Once you finish with one of them, erase it. And then start with the next and the next. And for those who have no support and they think they have no support, like a busy mom with many kids, and she have to do this and this and that. Look at your life, check if you need to declutter some of your most dear objects. Some people would like to collect books, like me. Others like to collect pictures, photos, go to do a hobby. They end up, because of the life responsibilities, to lose everything. And they feel that they lost their self-love. Go back to your old hobbies or find a new one. Learn a new skill. It's part of the journey. Day after day, I always hear from clients, I don't know what to do with my day. I cannot do this, I cannot do that. Fine, find something that you can do. Especially because I'm working with people who have critical conditions. They are in a chronic aches and pains. Some of them cannot move from bed or chair, and some of them are recovering. So we need also to balance the day. If I cannot do this because I'm in aches and pains, let's have a substitute. Find something that you can really do. And it was funny when one of my clients, and she was in a wheelchair for a while, and she said, I feel useless inside my own house. She was the master of the house. She was a chef. Car accident hit her and she couldn't move for a while, and she was in a wheelchair in a recovery journey till she made it. And those days when she used to call and she said, I don't feel that I'm useful in my house. So we end up shifting her practices and skills into a wheelchair setup till she was strong to go back on her feet and walk back again. She was doing 60% of the house chores from her bed or her chair. And sometimes I will ask her, okay, let's do the grounding and sit on the floor and do your chores. So she was cutting the food, preparing the food, she was folding the laundry, she was reading, and she also starts to do crochet and some yarn arts and teach some people in her house from her own place. So look at your resources. Nobody has zero resources. We all have a hidden talent, something inside that we can use and bring up. Until that time, you will be the master. You don't need to be certified to be a master. You can be the master in your own life. And you don't have also to care about what others will say, because others will say their own ideas. It's not yours. They are speaking about their bodies, it's not yours. They sensate what's inside themselves, not yours. So look inside, see what you can do. Pick it up, lift it up. And if you need a skill to boost your resources, do it. Do not wait, no matter how old are you. I have clients in their 70s and 80s, and they start to study online studies. Those mental and emotional moments are going to be shift yourselves if you take the step, the physical step. I can keep telling them, yes, be positive, but they won't change. So I went to their sessions and I asked the family to teach them how to use the computer. And we connect them through the internet, and then the life has changed. They learn, they educate themselves. They are not sitting there weak and hopeless, and they become an active members in their communities. And to wrap everything down, let's connect. Dr. Hanadie, the pain manager, and you can find me on our website, www.thepainmanager.com. And remember that you and others have your own resources. Start physically. Start from your own cells, because by the end of the day, you need to feed yourself physically and psychologically and emotionally to grow into a better version of yourself. Thanks a lot. You can reach out and connect with me on this email address, this phone number, and my website. I'm also available on the social media, on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and be the change in your life. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hanadie. This is recorded, so we will be sharing this to YouTube and to our members as well. It's very insightful session. I can relate to the last one you said, that you have a client about, an old person whom you teach the technology, how to get into, the social media and stuff like that. Because my children, I have a grown-up children and I have also 2 grandchildren. They always tease me, now that you teach mom everything that she needs to learn, now she's always in the social media.
That's the beauty of it.
Now they said, you are more than social media than, addict than us.
And actually tell them that you are a social media activist, health activist, because you can change more than them with the experience that you have in your life. And that's the beauty of it, that each one can be learned, and you're one of those golden people in life that, okay, your grandchildren taught you, and here you are.
Thank you. And I want to ask you, before I will ask the audience, I want to ask you a question about the water. You were talking about the water. Is it true that the water we buy from, from the bottles and from the supermarket are not really that clean? Okay.
So it depends on your country. Depends on the country. So
no, here in the UAE.
Yeah. So if we're talking about UAE, it's not about clear or not clear. Each company have a list of health and safety categories to be filled in order to get any product on the shelf. And luckily here in UAE, we have a very strict, hygienic, and health guided law. As a previous member in the research team, I used to work in Abu Dhabi in IRODA, the Environmental Association, and checking the food hygiene and doing the research about the new products that are arriving. And UAE was a big part of the responsibility that UAE took on their shoulder to assure the safety and health for everyone. So those bottled waters are safe. And there are few extremes from some companies to produce a better or a higher level of water. What we end up having, yes, more distillized water. So it's like the water that we used in the laboratory test, that our human body is not always in need to have it. We have another thing is that it's not the water who comes unfiltrated from the tubs. So people might fix a filter inside their house. It's not because the filtrated water who comes from the municipality or DEWA is not clear. No, it is clear, but the problem is that once those waters arrive to the buildings, and you have tanks in the buildings, you have pipes in the buildings, and then the extra debris comes. So you might see a color in your tub water, not on the bottled water. So the bottled water has to contain some specific amount of salts, solids, depends on which kind of water that you're dealing with. And you can go now in the supermarket and you can find alkaline water from the same company who produce the filtered water or the drinking water. So each part or each one of those waters serves something. Going to the alkaline water, many methods used to make those alkaline waters. Some of them are approved by the science and some are still waiting to be studied. If those people feel well and good about specific filter or specific water, go ahead. It is safe, but do not restrict yourself, because I can see it now. Some who have filters in their houses, they refuse to drink any water outside the house, ending up having a kind of dehydration. So I keep telling them, be flexible. It's a clear water, don't worry. And if you intend to use your alkaline water or your specific filtered water or your boosted water, fine, but do not restrict yourself when you're out, because you cannot take 2 or 3 liters with you everywhere, especially if you're exercising, if you're moving a lot out and you sweat a lot. How can you manage? You cannot take your filter with you, but many other means are available. They are good, but again, the bottled water here is safe to be used. And you don't have to worry or freak out from it.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Is there any other questions from the audience, please?
Well, I would like to thank you, Dr. Hanadie, for sharing her experience. I know that how much experience she has in the health and the pain management by her own experience, actually. And what I love actually in your speech, Dr. Hanadie, is that you have given us very practical advices, like, be patient, don't listen too much to your surrounding people, be regular, and really very practical advice to be well. And I agree that to really be able to self-love, we need to really isolate ourselves, actually, sometime, be inside of us instead of looking out at the surrounding. So I really love that. And when you talk about the cells and the mindset, it's really a holistic management of well-being that we both love very much, especially when you talk about nourish your cells. And you know that I'm really very particular on that point, of course. And I have maybe specific question on the pain management.
Yes.
Because you are the specialist when you have like a diffuse pain and we don't know why is it that I feel pain in my body, you know, like muscle pain, not specifically the joint pains, but muscle pain here and there, where to start and what to do, please.
Okay. So, because let's say 99% of my clients comes with that kind of pain. And it started with me, by the way. So experiencing the aches and pains, and they are deep, but they are not specific. That's exactly what you're asking about. It's a dull pain, so it's like somebody pressing you in, like, you know, in a regular manner or in a regular pattern. There is no explanation medically. There is no full diagnosis. We have to do what we call it a full scan. At that point, I will look at both cellular and mental. Because if the mental status is not supporting, or the emotional status is not supporting the physical, no matter how hard we try to support, the stress and the level of the emotion will become what we call them anti-nutrients. They will suck the nutrients from our body. Simple thing. If someone have a regular argument in the job, in the house, for a reason or not, or he is like, you know, he have a busy lifestyle and a frustration drive to reach his job. So he's always on this anger mode. By the end of the day, his body will need more magnesium, more manganese, more calcium, more phosphorus to manage and stabilize his brain functions. I'm talking about minerals. I didn't touch even the vitamins. And when we start a journey with a client, for now, because I'm working like, you know, one-to-one and also with the groups, I will ask for a full scan. Means like, you know, target every single thing in your body. Why? Because at that moment we can see if your lifestyle supporting or damaging your supplements or your food intake. Maybe your food intake is perfect, and I have those. I started with the bodybuilders the last 10 years because they were my first clients in pain management and injuries and rehabilitation. So they were the extreme. Those people, they don't joke about their supplements or their food intake. It's like 1, 2, 3. You don't touch them. Yet they will come with those aches and pains unexplained. Once we touch what's going on, which kind of stress that you are having, the nature of the stress that they have will cause a kind of need in the body. Can I give more supplementation or more specific food? Not always recommended, because always remember that you will have an overdose and extra side effects from anything, including food. And when I have one of them who always, like, you know, complain about his gut issues, and he end up taking too many smoothies away from my sessions because he was doing that secretly, and then he was complaining about getting diarrhea. Yeah, of course. Anything will be used or overused will create something in you. So those aches and pains, we have to do a full scan. The full scan is not always by lab test, and there is a kind of confusion in the industry now. I don't know how many doctors still use the stethoscope and check and can diagnose from hearing the sounds of your gut. But we used to do this, and I'm still using it. Even when I, like, you know, even when I stop and come back as a therapist, I still use the stethoscope to hear the voices of the lungs and the gut. It's simple, but it can give us a lot of information that can serve us. So the clinical findings and the lab tests. I can not only see a lab test, and I have now a paralyzed lady. She got a stroke, half of the body paralyzed. Her blood picture is perfect. Her lab tests have no, you cannot imagine that this lab test is for this lady, yet she had clinical symptoms. On those cases, I need to do the hands-on. It's not always, okay, can I get a session on Zoom? No, I need to check the body physically. The clinical findings and the nature of the pain, the location of the pain, sometimes hide specific things. I will give you an example on my case. When I got the paralysis, the initial diagnosis was a spine injury. It took me a few months to figure out that it's not only a stress, it's not only a virus hit my spine, it's not only that I had no gallbladder because it was removed many years, and it will affect the absorption of specific vitamins and minerals, but also my doctor found an old abscess in under one of my teeth. And the pathway of this teeth nervous supply hit and reached the spine. So I was having a kind of chronic inflammation in the bone, in part in my body. The doctors cannot sensate it. And we find it by chance, by the way. I was doing a specific therapy, and each time it's called Jinshinjutsu. It works like acupuncture, Chinese acupuncture, but Jinshinjutsu is a Japanese acupuncture. And every time I will do the session, the pain hits my jaw and my leg. And they did not get any results from them. Till I was in his clinic and I asked him to check the jaw, and he said, weird, you have an abscess. An old abscess, a small abscess, but it was enough to toxify the nervous system and give specific symptoms. So those tiny little things can shift the healing or drop the healing down. The end of the story that the abscess removed, and I was checking with my physio the nerve recovery, and it was improved in the first week after this abscess removal. Why? Again, I was giving my body all the nutrients, all the supplements, everything, but removing the source of the toxin, the physical source, end up the cycle and the healing start.
Okay, so
I hope that, yeah.
Yeah, the full scan is very important into.
Yes. And it has, yeah, the full scan, not about MRI or X-ray, it's everything, including the hands-on with specialists. With a specialist. And for those who are not in my area, I used to have, the last few weeks, I have clients from Singapore and USA. And sometimes when you work on clients, you sensate specific need. And one of them was an advanced case of a nerve disease, So I stopped the sessions and I shifted her to a specific clinic in USA to serve her condition. Again, because she is not in this country, I told her I cannot continue in this way. We need to improve your health, not to stabilize it only, not to be stuck in this level of healing. And now once she was shifted there, she received the physical checkup, the clinical checkup, and the hands-on therapy. And then the shift started. Yes, she might need specific kind of medication. I'm not against the medication, but use them wisely. Do not take them from over the counter. So yes, the full scan, it has to be done.
Don't forget about the epigenetic test though, Dr. Hanadie.
Yes, both. So remember my case because you were part of this journey. So I did DNA test, many blood tests, another DNA test because the epigenetic was not the only one. I did more than anyone here in Dubai to target what's going on in my body because the diagnosis was not clear. And I cannot blame them. My case was one of those rare cases that you will have 1 in million. Yes, any other questions?
Yeah, any other question?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hanadie. As always, it's such a big honor to be with you. You know, whenever I see your face, like, you know, we spent some valuable time with you. I was so proud to be in the same environment with you, and all the time, whenever there is you in the picture, there is always a solution or a method of solution, you know. And really thank you so much. You know, pain and pain management is maybe what happened to you, and you being such a valuable person brought many others this effect. And you know, recently what I know is pain, if you blame others, if you search the reason on others, it becomes hatred. And if you search the pain inside yourself, it becomes wisdom. And I relate to that because currently, by the way, I am so lucky because for a while I am having some things that I am always hiding behind the reasons and stuff, also sometimes pain. But there is, for example, 2 heroes here with me, Cardella and Rowena, because you said that it's very important to find the people to push you and to encourage you and be with the right time with the right people. And really, I got no questions, but so much thanks. And I am so very proud of you, Dr. Hanadie, for all that you are doing, really.
Thank you so much.
Big kiss.
Thank you so much. I also be honored to know people like you, Asli, Dr. Noosh, and all the good people around me. Because by the end of the day, your question might be simple for yourself, but for me, it's a work for the next 6 months. And I remember the day that I met you on Zoom. We still never met physically. Hope we will do it soon. And you were one of those who have many questions. And I start another journey of research to find out what answers. And this is how I work.
Yeah.
Anything you will see it on my website or my social media, those never only started with me. They started from within, yes, but also they were questions I've been asked and I didn't have answers at that time. So I took them as a kind of a mission that if those people have the answers, will their lives will be changed or not? I still have some recipes, and the first book came, The Women Who Inspire. It is supported by, I was supported by another 25 writers. So it's not only me in this book. We share our stories. And in each story I've read from them, there is a lesson, there is a mission to change. And also the upcoming books are prepared now to put the practical steps of healing, to put practical steps for those who don't know what to do in themselves, including, because it's a series of books, how to cook or how to eat or how to feed those cells. I also have some recipes because they were never my recipes, that I will name them by the people who gave me those recipes. How did they give me? They were sharing me, I'm mixing this and that. Is it okay? Is it healthy? Is the recipe going to be good? Can we change it? So also it's a part of the journey to honor those people who share with me their stories, their missions, because your question, any word you will say, I will take it as month
Next journey.
mission. This is how life can be re-explored. And days will never be always up and always down. But remember, when you have a very down day, remember that before that day, you were always being good. You'll always be fine. Look at those sparks in your life, because those sparks can be the guidance for you for the next, the guidance in that dark tunnel that somebody might experience now. So let them take those sparks and put them in front of their eyes and look at them and follow them to reach. Thank you so much, Asli.
No, I thank you. And by the way, happy anniversary, because tomorrow is the first complete first year that we were together in one Zoom. And today we are together. So happy anniversary to Noosh, to you.
Thank you so much. The first time we met.
And now I understood one other thing, that what I have been doing is, I understood today's session that I was acting like I am sleeping, or I am acting like I'm sleeping. I say to myself, okay, this period of time, I am sleeping. That's why my friends cannot wake me up, because I am not sleeping. I am pretending to be sleeping. So that's why I cannot be cured, or I cannot move forward. So thank you for the slapping. And the pain is an absolute gain if we love our pain. That I know.
Yeah,
that I know.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, it is a lesson. It is something that we have to notice in order to embrace,
to become better.
and then manage. So I never will tell people to shush your pain, or like, let's be the pain. It's not about this. So understand it, accept it, and then work on it. Deal with it as a, with it as a project instead of being a problem. The project can reach an end and a final point, while the problem will be always hanging there.
Yeah.
And don't worry, Asli, about your pretending to sleep. It's not a pretending. Your brain was dealing with it as a safety mode.
It's like detoxing your emotions, Asli.
Yeah. So when you feel that you cannot engage for a reason, means that your brain having a break, because the brain think that it's a safe mode. Once you have the opportunity to look at it, and then you will understand that this safe mode serves you before, but you don't need it now. It's that simple. And then you start your own shift. I was always amazed by the crystals and the jewelry that you're putting. Always having like kind of meaning and therapeutic purposes and a background.
She always leaves something for people that, you know, that she's connected with, and that's very beautiful. Be the change, accept yourself and be yourself. Beautiful. And then I love the detox your emotions. I think I need that detoxing of emotion as well.
You're most welcome.
Cordella, we all need it. Thank you, Dr. Hanadie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So my
Thank
anniversary with you starts today.
Okay, great.
Asli, like happy anniversary to you and Asli. So me and you will be next year.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so just like I like to honor the people who offer me to be on their social media or their channels. I always give something extra by the end of each session. Since most people are now still like, you know, thinking about the virus, recovering and improving their healing health, or their lung health. One of those holes that I use it in Jinshinjutsu to improve the lung capacity. And they are easy because you can use your hand to do the breathing. You can either hold first the thumb. And those points who support your immune system runs through the thumb. It is connected through the nervous system with your spleen, which is an organ responsible about part of your immunity. And it is the organ about immunity and acceptance in the Chinese traditional medicine and Jinshin Jutsu, the Japanese medicine. And then you can wrap your ring finger. Why? Because you can, through the ring finger, you can open up and stimulate the lung function to breathe faster. Okay, how long? You can hold each finger 2 minutes or 5 minutes. There is another hold also, which is a quickly, because also we are going to use the meridian points, or what we call it safety energy locks in Jinshin Jutsu. By pressing your finger, your thumb, with the base of the nail of the ring finger. I think Indians know it as one of the mudras, but it's in Chinese medicine one of the meridian stimulating for the lungs and to detox. So if you have issues to breathe well, or if you have asthma, or if you're rushing for a meeting and you're still panting, you can hold this or hold each finger separately, and your breathing will be improved. It's not magic, it's a nerve stimulation technique. How long you need to hold it till your breathing becomes like, stable. Those who have allergies and they cough a lot also, it helps them. And you can do both hands or one hand, it's up to you. So it will help to stimulate the immunity also and detox the body, because by the end of the day, we need our lungs to detox our body from carbon dioxide and other things and remove extra moisture if it's needed. So it is one of those cellular detox to give for the ladies and everyone who's going to listen or see this webinar.
Thank you for the tips.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Hanadie.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Hanadie, for your time today.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.